In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern where we do have multiple snowstorms on the way, not only for the Rockies, but also the plains and into the northeastern states. We have some very interesting storms on the way, as well as an extremely major Arctic blast that is going to be impacting areas in the east, especially the southeast, though, where we could see temperatures 20 degrees or more below normal. Now, before we get into things, be sure to check out Prestige Weather in the description, pinned comment, and the top right corner of your screen. We do weather consulting for businesses and individuals alike. We do a lot of consulting calls, consulting emails, consulting texts, and we have an exclusive community for you guys for weather consulting. It's all for only $5 a month. And we're actually running a promotion right now for Black Friday. If you put in the code DIRECT at checkout, you will get your first month for only $1. Be sure to check it out today. Let's just dive into things, and first things first, we're going to take a look at this evening where we actually do have some of those snowfall areas in the plains. We can see areas from Oklahoma up through Kansas into Iowa and Missouri there, dealing with some kind of snow showers, I guess I would call it, as this seems to be a pretty progressive system. It's not going to last too long. Accumulation is going to be pretty hard to come by as everything is going to be moving so fast. As you know, a lot of snowfall has to happen for multiple hours before it starts to stick. So if we're only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of snowfall, it's going to be pretty hard for that to accumulate. Let's actually move this towards Sunday afternoon and evening time frame. We do see some snow showers across a lot of the upper Midwest and into the Great Lakes at this point, as we have 1,001 millibar low pressure system just above all of this. And this is all kind of leading way towards that Arctic blast. As we reach towards Monday, we see a fully engaged trough in the eastern states. And really, I think the biggest factor here is going to be these warmer temperatures and higher pressure taking place over the western states. This is allowing for all of this cold to be funneled into the eastern states here. And this is actually what we expect a lot of this upcoming winter. So certainly going to be on the lookout for that. Our jet stream is going to be doing something along these lines here. So again, you see that ridge in the west, trough engaged in the east. Classic stuff. I want to rewind a little bit because we do get one of our northeastern snowfall events at some point in here. What we end up seeing is actually a low pressure system developing there near the mid-Atlantic, and this is going to allow for some snowfall to take place for New York and New England alike. So let's watch this progress. I want to take this towards kind of 2-3 a.m. time frame here Sunday into Monday. And we can see the Adirondacks, the Green Mountains, and the White Mountains up there in the far northeast, seeing some pretty heavy snowfall at this point. And that snowfall, on the other hand, could end up accumulating. So we're going to be watching for some accumulating snowfall, especially if it lasts multiple hours, as this model suggests, all the way into Monday afternoon, as this low is now a 988 millibar low pressure system in the form of a nor'easter there off the coast of Maine. As we keep going, we see this storm eventually lifts off. What we end up getting is severely cold air here in the eastern states as a result of this. So a lot of frigid temperatures around, and we even get some lake effect snowfall, as you can see, for states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even into New York there. So that is something to watch for sure. Tuesday on November 28th, what we see here is some snow showers kind of as a result of that lake effect snowfall for the northeast. So be watching for some flurries and even some passing snowfall as we have cold enough temperatures to support that type of precipitation to occur. On Wednesday, what we see is that this cold is beginning to sort of lift off in a very slow fashion. It's still rather cold, but the severe cold is starting to flatten out. And we get this ridge kind of trying to spread towards the southeast, so warmer temperatures spreading in. We actually end up getting the opposite. We get a lifting low through the plains. And what this is going to do is allow for cold air to pour in underneath, warm air to rise up in the east, and what we'll end up seeing is a jet stream more like this, so the very opposite of what we're seeing before. We do see some diving snowfall throughout the Sierra Nevadas into portions of Nevada, into Utah, so the Rockies getting involved here with some snowfall as well. I want to keep going because we end up getting multiple storms like this actually. Here's by Sunday, December 3rd. We have 1,002 millibar low pressure system here in the deeper south. This does feature a cold front underneath, as you can see, and then a warm front up above. So expect warmer, more humid temperatures for the southeast for the day on Sunday into Monday. Again, that's going to be the 3rd into the 4th there. And again, the diving cold air behind it is also going to be a big time factor as well. Let's take this towards Monday the 4th, and we can see the cold air starting to try to return. Meanwhile, we actually do have a pretty big snow system out west for the Rockies, the Cascades, and the Sierra Nevada, so perhaps an early December major snow event out there. We do see that the cold air is really funneled in here, and it's a pretty intense look because we do have rather warm temperatures up the East Coast. Same story for the plains just to the east of the Rockies, and then a lot of this cold is being forced in between. Certainly something to watch for, and by Tuesday we see that reach the East Coast. I want to see here because we actually do get a pretty interesting snow system here in the east again. 978 millibar low pressure center there in eastern Canada, and then for off of the east coast we have another one. So over time, I mean, keep in mind you need to take this with a grain of salt because this is about 10 days out, so certainly very, very far. This is our primary low, the one that I'm underlining. If most of this energy was to transfer to the one offshore ahead of time, we would likely see more cold air and more snowfall here in the northeast. If this system here has more energy, then we're probably going to see a much warmer, less snowy solution here in the northeast. But all of this is kind of just hypothetical because the odds of this event even happening at all is still relatively low. Just something to watch for. And obviously I want to educate you guys because that is a pretty common occurrence to see a situation like this. So it is good to know things like that. We do get more snowfall along the Rockies and the Cascades, as you can see, as we have another system moving through here. So perhaps the Rockies are about to get more active. That's certainly something to watch for as well. Let's dive into the precipitation. And this has been kind of the theme here for a while, but the main areas to watch here is the northwest, and that does include the northern Rockies as well. And then the deeper south, up through the southeast and up the northeast coast there, another area to watch for a very, very active pattern. And even the Ohio Valley here into the Great Lakes, it's the same story. Very, very active conditions over the next 10 days. Total snowfall here, we see extremely large amounts for the Rockies, Sierra Nevadas, and the Cascades. No massive surprise there whatsoever. I mean, this is pretty common for this time of year. It is like the snowiest time of year for them right now, November into December. So again, no big surprises there. We do get kind of this passing snowfall event here for the plains into the upper Midwest, something to watch for. And then the Northeast, we do get some 10-inch plus amounts there from the Great Lakes, but also for the Adirondacks, the Green Mountains, the White Mountains, and then northern Maine as well. Feel free to pause this right now and look at the numbers on the screen, as well as the numbers here, compare the colors, and figure out what amounts you're expected to see. Now, the temperature pattern is really something I want to dive into here. We do see some pretty marginal cold temperatures, I'd say near average along the eastern states, but this Arctic blast is coming in a hurry. And look at that, we see severely below normal temperatures for almost the entire eastern states there by the time we're reaching Tuesday the 28th. And the coldest here is going to be overnight that night into Wednesday the 29th. And we see, again, severely cold temperatures along the southeast here. This is indicative of 15 to 25 degrees below normal from Virginia, southward through North Carolina, South Carolina, into Georgia. Severe cold temperatures compared to normal as we transition from November into December. We see that cold kind of last through the weekend, and it's really right as we start December here on the 2nd that we do get a warm up in the east, and that wants to stick around here through the end of the model run. We do eventually return to near normal conditions here. Anywhere in these very light blues or very light yellows are going to be within 5 degrees of normal, so very, very typical weather here. The warmest temperatures here on this particular frame is going to be out west, where these are much more like 10 to 15 degrees above normal, so certainly in the opposite direction, very abnormal weather out west as we reach the beginning portion of December. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We do upload videos just like this one every single day, so be sure to subscribe. You could even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Also, be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.